Alright, so today we're going to learn about um, hourglass summations. In hourglass summations, we have this a given uh, array that we have to traverse to, right? We have to use a nested for loop there because we have a row and a column, right? So, uh, and we have these shapes that we can add and make it up to total of the numbers. So, for example, if we look at the bottom down here, uh, so this we can look at the top is 3, the middle is 1, and the bottom is 3. So add them up all together, we have 7, right? So beside we can uh, find another hourglass shape, and this one right here, it has a total of 4. So compared to the first one, this one is less than the first one. So we will take the first one as a maximum sum. So let's go here and code this on Python and see if we can solve this problem. Alright, so first thing first, we have to create a variable called max sum, and that will be 0. And we're going to have each sum, and that will be 0. And we're going to have another um, variable called top 0, mid 0, and bottom 0. Okay, so these variable will be useful for our adding the hourglass shape. So the code itself already traversed through a number of tests here, and then we're gonna have to take the array and then return the result here. So let's go in here and add the hourglass shape. So first thing first, we're gonna look for the shape itself, right? So for and we'll go from row in range and length array minus 2, and let's copy this, place it here, right? And this will become column. So you will be questioning, like, why are we decrementing with minus 2, right, for rows and columns? Well, if you look at this, right, this data, we don't have to go all the way to the, at the end of the column and at the end of the row right here, right? So the column, we can just calculate it right here, the index number, and before we reach the end of column or rows, we have to stop, because otherwise we will be stepping out of the boundary or the range, and we will have a memory problem right there. So instead we can just say right here, top, we're going to calculate top, and right here we're going to have row, column, right? And the top will be plus right here and plus right there. So the row will be the top right here, and so we will have to move only the first index, and this will be the second index. So the second index is plus 1, so that will be column plus 1, right? So here we can say column plus 2, because we are moving forward with the 2 times 2 plus, yeah. So we can copy this idea, and then we can implement it for the bottom one. So the top, similar to the top, we will have the bottom, and at the bottom, if you look at this, we have to move forward, move downward the row by 2, right? So column will be plus 2, row will be plus 2, and everything else, the column will be the same as similar to the top. And then we're going to have row right here, mid, and the mid will have something very similar to what we did. So let's delete this. And so if you look at the mid, is +1 row and +1 column. So that means +1 row and +1 column. So after that, we will have summations. So each sum will be top plus mid plus bottom. Okay, and then if each sum is greater than max sum, right? So then we have to set max sum with each sum. So that's how we're going to get the maximum summations of hourglass. All right, and then we're going to return max sum as the final answer for our this algorithm. So let's try and test this our concept here, our strategy, our algorithm here. So we got the right answer, and now all the test cases are passed. And let's try this on multiple test cases. Okay, so now we have arrow like 3 and 7. So the reason is we have to initialize this max sum as -300 or 100, doesn't really matter. Let's just say 100. And in this, the reason why we initialize this as -100 is basically if you have something like this right here, the form, right, that become 0 become the maximum number, and if we don't collect that number as a 0, right, then we got the wrong answer. And so we need that 0, and so we have to compare with less than 0, right, something that less than 0. So that's which is why we have to initialize this this max sum as -100 so that we can get the correct summations. All right, let's try this, and we submit it, and yeah, it passed all the way right here. So 7 3s are passed, and we got the green. So that's it for our solution.